our Steve Henry show. We have this is like a triple show. Do you realize love is in the air? Hey, does everybody get their mugs yet? This is in my formerly nicotine same fingers. Have you won your $200 yet? That is our mugs. By now, most of you, long distance, should have received the mug with some money. Speaking of money, man, you people in the waiting room, incredible. We call it the waiting room. You know why? You get here probably a half an hour before showtime, and that just tells me you're interested. That is so cool. You know what? I too am interested in you. See all that money? I'm going to write a check right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. The waiting room, somebody in that waiting room is going to take it big. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but my thoughts are with you. It is the Love Show. We have a series of 3 love shows. The very first one I came up with is Jack and Jill Went Up the Hill. You know that story. Well, Jack and Jill have been married for 25 years or more. And for those who have been married for more than 25 years, what do you do? I mean, my God, it's like, you slept on the couch, you've done all this, all that stuff. Well, when it comes to eating, you usually go out. That's traditional, right? Valentine's Day. Hey, we celebrate our anniversary on Valentine's Day. Aw, isn't that sweet? Well, a lot of people do that. Believe it or not, 49% of the American public do something special on Valentine's Day in relationship to an anniversary or something of that effect. So we're going to take Jack and Jill. They are over here. I'm going to introduce them. They got married in 1997. They've aged a little bit, but aged gracefully, I might add. Jack's favorite meal is meatloaf, and he says to Jill, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to go out. Just fix me my favorite meatloaf. She says, Jack, meatloaf? Really, dude? I mean, I've fixed you probably 80 to 100 meatloaf dishes throughout the year. I'm not going to do it. But wait a minute. I saw something on Preview YouTube, Steve Henry Show. That's right. It's called I'm going to fix you. 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 Oh, there we go. I'm going to fix you Rotisserie Meatloaf. What? There's no such thing. Well, there is now. As you can see, I took out of my closet, garage / portable room, my 1985 Ronco Presents Rotisserie Grill. And I made a rotisserie meatloaf. Loved ones, this is a rotisserie meatloaf. And I'm going to show you today how to make it. And let me tell you something. I've done this 3 times this week. I've never done this before. This is the best meatloaf I've ever had. And I've made probably 1 million meatloaf meals throughout my career. This rotisserie meatloaf, you will never, I promise you, if you can find one of these rotisseries, which you can. Farberware has them for about $100 aftermarket, or you can go to a flea market and probably find one. I blew the circuit in this room about 4 times. Wilcox came in, he wasn't very happy, but we got taken care of that. But nonetheless, this is a rotisserie meatloaf. I'm gonna show you today how to make it and how to present it to somebody who you've been married to for 25 years, or just the kids. How about just the kids and the family? This is probably the first time we're gonna actually roll back and do something kind of real casual. But let me tell you, this is far from casual when you put that meatloaf to your lips. It's amazing. So we're going to do the recipe. We're going to show you how to do it, and so you can do it at home. And when you invite your neighbors over or family members or whatever, and you say we're having rotisserie meatloaf, their minds will be blown. So without further ado, we are going to unplug this before we have a fire or something of that nature. And ooh, look at the sparks flying on that sucker. Okay, so some little trivia. Hey, did you know 55% of the marriages do not make it 15 years these days, and only 35% of marriages have made it to where Jack and Jill are. That's right, at 25 years. Only 6% of marriages make it to 50 years. The toughest years of marriage, years 1 through 2, and years through 7 through 8. For some reason, I don't know where 7 or 8 come in. I think I have a pretty good idea, but nonetheless, the 1 and 2 is obviously clear as well. So marriage is a tough thing, as we all know, for those who are married. Patricia Rice, you said you weren't married. We're going to have... you know what? The waiting room. If you can name this show, I'm going to put somebody $100 right now. This is only waiting room only. So if you were in the waiting room, Chuck Hillary said something about he'll be back in 2 and 2. What was the name of that show? That was called something. We're going to make maybe a connection on this show. I just gave you the clue. But nonetheless, if you're not married, this is still for you, because you're going to want to fix meals for somebody in lieu of something. So without further ado, the rotisserie meal. Look at that thing. Is that not cool? So what we're going to do here, this is quite hot, I'm sure, but we're going to take this apart, and we're going to, yeah, it's quite hot, Steve. We're going to disassemble this, And as we disassemble this, I'm going to undress it, unpack it, and present it. And then we're going to make it from scratch, and I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. Don't forget, this is the show where we give away $200 to anybody who just shows up in the comment section and says, "I'm here, Steve." Yeah, that's all you got to do. Show up in the comment section, say you're here, and we put a little red ticket in a spinner, and that spinner goes around at about 30 miles an hour. And at the end of the show, I'm going to give away, and I tell you, we started with 1, then we went to 2, then we went to 3. I'm feeling pretty lovey today, so I don't know. Maybe we're going to do 4. It's going to be interesting. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually unpacking this particular meatloaf, okay? Now, this is a rotisserie meatloaf. Again, I'm going to show you how this is actually made. Watch out, backlash there. This is actually the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I'm so excited today because this is something, you don't see every day. Not only do you not see it every day, I don't think I've ever seen it. I heard about it once, and I kind of like poo-pooed or scoffed at the idea because, who would think, rotisserie meatloaf? You can't put that on a rotisserie. But here it is. This is the finished product. And I'm just going to hold this up. What we have here is a bacon-webbed cage. So I literally made a net out of the bacon and wrapped that up in a pork and beef. Now, you can use everything. I do not recommend one meat, and that is turkey. My wife just hates turkey. It's very mealy. If you do a meatloaf with turkey, it's going to be a little gritty. Meatloaf should be a nice, a chewy, tangible type of a product that you put to your lips instead of that mealy, grainy. Turkey can do that. So we're going to stay with pork because we have bacon and a good high-quality ground beef. But I'm going to show you all the ingredients. There's about 14 ingredients that we're going to encompass into this, but for now, I am going to just very carefully slice as a log, if you will, the meatloaf. And I'm just going to present that on a plate. I'm going to show you how we're going to present that. And then we're going to, as I said, we're going to make it ourselves. So you can make it for home. And maybe you can have Jack over for dinner. I don't know. But after Jack tastes this, I'm telling you, I think he'll stay with Jill another 25 years. Matter of fact, I can guarantee that. Now, that red in there, don't let that fool you. That is just a tad bit underdone, and again, because of time constraints, it'd take me, if I were to do this, and again, this would be probably about a 3-hour meatloaf for the purpose of time. We can't do that, but I'm just going to show you, like I said, what we're doing here. The digital download, and I keep saying the digital download, we'll have everything in its entirety. And by the way, just for those who are interested in digital downloads, we shot our first one 2 nights ago. It's chicken cordon bleu. Look for that coming. I'm going to run a special, like 99 cents for the first 30 days or something like that. It is a step-by-step process, as this is going to be one day, so you can do it, and have exactly the measurements and the volume and so on. This show is about 25 minutes if you're new. We give a Jeep away about every 10 weeks. It's a 2014 Jeep Patriot. We do have one coming up in 3 weeks, February 12th, live here in the studio. We're just this is gonna be fun. In days past, we've kind of vetted some, you gotta be, 18, you gotta live in the United States, you gotta have a pulse, you got, bottom line. But this one is gonna be unvetted. We are literally going to take all the comments from the 12th of February's live show, put them in the spin, and spin that baby. And I'm gonna pull out the Jeep winner right there on the spot. No vetting, no ifs, and buts, or maybes. It's going to be really interesting. So that you want to stick around for. I want to, right now we're batting well over close to 100. I want to see about 150 people bat that ball on the 12th of February. So write that down. February 12th, we're spinning for a Jeep. That's a Jeep Patriot 2014, blue in color. It is beautiful. I've been driving this thing home practically every other night. So that's what we do every 10 weeks. Every day or every week, we give away, like I said, $200 on a spin. I get giddy and throw $100 every once in a while. Did anybody get the Chuck Hillary question? That's the love connection. I'll be back in Q&Q. Remember that? I don't know if anybody remembers that, but anyways, that was something pretty fun. And whoever got that, first person in the comment section who got that is going to win $100. I'll put a $100 check in the mail. All right, so without further ado, we are going to make a lovely rendition here. This is the meatloaf. Now, I want this served on basically a wooden plate. Okay, there's your meatloaf. There's your sauce. We are going to commemorate Jack and Jill. It is. Somebody moved my balloon here, so I didn't like that. He didn't like it either. But we're going to go ahead and commemorate the 25. Now, what is he doing with these red? And you say it's not red, Steve. It's actually kind of pink. Well, this is everything that we do here is edible. And I mean, when I say edible, everything on this show when we go to basically do a garnish of sorts is edible. Now, I am doing that in an edible fashion. That too will also be drizzled with our sauce gelée, and that is our gravy that we made from our meatloaf. We're going to also incorporate some peas and some mushrooms to go with that. So we're going to saute up some mushrooms here and put some peas down there, and I'm going to show you this presentation. But isn't this cool? Now somebody, like I said, that's my cameraman. I'm going to put him up for grabs after the end of the show because he moved my balloon. But let's go ahead and drizzle that a little bit. Now, see that drizzle? That is very cool. That is the 25. We're going to go ahead and put our peas in the center here, and they're also going to be on the side. We're going to go ahead and put the potatoes here. This is for an extra. Hey, we want a little extra. Jack, I need some more. Okay, great, there you are. We're going to put some there. That is going to be for Jack's extra meatloaf. And we're going to do our peas and our pods there. All right, so now the next step is going to be, how do we make this rotisserie meatloaf? I mean, it looks hard. It's really not. What we start with, loved ones, is I'm going to bring the camera over here basically, but we have our meat. This is just a simple meat, okay? This is a very high quality ground beef with a very high quality pork, ground pork. Very raw, very plain. We're going to go ahead and put those together, and then we're going to season this up with a magical mystery. Now, everybody has their meatloaf recipe. My mother, my grandmother, my cousin Aunt Bethy, boy, she can make a meatloaf. She takes the refrigerator and literally just dumps. Okay, well, that's cool. You can literally, we got some mushrooms brewing here. You can literally make meatloaf out of anything. There is no perfect meatloaf, right? Okay, so, but this one that I perfected over the years happens to coincide really well with the rotisserie formation. Now, let me explain that rotisserie process. Obviously, you've got your coils down below, and you've got your about a 4-inch height between your coils and your meat, spinning around at about, I counted at about 7.5 RPM. Now, that is 7.5 rounds per minute and there's no timing on these devices actually, but the bottom line is it's a self-basting prophecy. So that bacon web that we're making here is literally going to self-baste itself into the meat. You have very little drippage, okay? All right, so here's our mushrooms. Now, what goes well, Jack says he loves peas and carrots. Well, that's kind of I don't know, a little childish thing, I think, but maybe not. This is peas and mushrooms. We're going to, and we actually unveiled in the digital download recipe last night, or the night before, the actual ingredients of the Steve Henry secret seasonings. Yes, there's actually 4 ingredients in there, but we're gonna put that in there. You gotta have that. Now, as this sautés up nicely, all I wanna do here is just show you basically what this is gonna look like when we present this to Jack's table. And when Jill puts this down on the table for Jack and says, honey, I love you, Jack. After 25 years, you've been a great husband, a great provider for this family. I love you. That is what we're going to do. So here is obviously the extra peas. This is going to be for, any extra seconds, our mashed potatoes, and of course our sauce Julie. But this is the plate presentation that I want you. Now you could put any number to that, okay? For example, if you've been married 18 years, you're going to put 1.8 in there. All that is a red mashed potato with a little bit of redness in it. Not the food coloring, but a little bit of redness, making it pink, obviously. It should be a little redder, but nonetheless, isn't that pretty? That is a display. Happy anniversary, Jack, my love. 25 years. We've made it, and this is your favorite meal. So that's how I want you to present that. How do we make it, Steve? Well, that's the next part right here, and that's why you tune in. And don't forget your mug. By the way, Patricia, I'm going to mention you again because I love, she sent a picture the other day of vanilla ice cream topped with her new mug and some chocolate syrup, and not included, obviously, just the mug itself. I thought that was very cool. So if you all got your mugs, that's pretty cool. The question is, have you won your $200 yet? My goal is to make sure by the end of June, everybody that has participated in the show has at least received a check for $200. Now, I will make sure that happens, and I'll tell you how that'll be done shortly. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to start with our meat. We have 4 eggs. And again, do not fret over the fact that, geez, we're not counting, or we're not sure what we have. We're just going to tell you what we have. Again, the digital download, that's that library portion at the new SteveHenryShow.com. When you go there, you'll see our library. You'll see, gee, I want meatloaf, the meatloaf that Steve made on the show. That'll be on there. Everything's going to be on there. So we have the croutons. Secret ingredient, pistachios. Yes, 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 yes. We put some pistachios in there. Now, you have to grind these up because there's nothing worse than biting into something. What was that? Especially undisclosed. If you're biting into a burrito and you don't want gristle or that. So you want to warn people there are nuts. Now again, this is my recipe. You can do whatever you want. But if you want a aftertaste of that nut, Mom, what is that flavor? It is a pistachio, okay? We also put a little bit of garlic in there. Garlic is a must, absolutely. We have some fresh onion. Now, the secret to about another onion is, you know those onions that you put on a green bean casserole? These are fried onions. Now, the flavor that these hold when they dissolve into the fat content of your meat, I'm speechless because the flavor and the texture is just enormously incredible. Again, these are flavors that pop out. Anybody can make a meatloaf. Like I said, my mom used oatmeal and rice, and it's kind of bland meatloaf. It's done in the oven conventionally, not obviously rotisserie or anything like that, but the flavor was okay, kind of ho-hum. This is designed for, my God, I've never had meatloaf like this before. Well, that's what you're getting, and that's why we do the wow thing here at the Steve Henry Show. That was a little barbecue sauce. I like little snubs there. Some Parmesan cheese and Romano mixed together there. We have some Himalayan salt. Normally what I would do is I would put my secret seasonings in there, but we're going to do that a little differently. And some fresh ground pepper. All right, if you're counting, that's a lot of stuff so far. The last thing is a little bit of lemon. Now, what lemon will do, you think, lemon, ew, really? Yeah, lemon will accentuate that flavor out. It'll actually bring it out. And we're just gonna put whoa, I just squirted him in the eye. I just hit the cameraman in the eye. You okay, bud? Oh my God. You know that one, there was a Seinfeld, Costanza had lemon in his eye. He always went around winking, wink, wink. That's a long story. All right, if you're a Seinfeld dude, that was kind of cool. Yeah, a true love story never ends. So, congratulations to those who have been married for 25 years. I know we have Emilio, and we have Candy up there in the North State. I know we have a couple other people that have been, that's a long time, 25 years. I don't know how you do it. I've never made it that far, but congratulations to those who have. Next week is 1 through 5, and that's gonna be kind of fun because you can do a lot of things with 1 through 5. And then the last series, part 3 of our Love Fest, when it comes to the amazing entree and what to do with it, is will you marry me? And I'm going to unveil for you, for those of you that aren't married, someday you will want to be married, how you will present a meal to your husband, wife, or a significant other to be in a surprise fashion, and it's going to be a food item that they see or unveil on their plate. Incredible. You know the old thing of put the ring in the brownie and, oh, there's the ring in the brownie. Oh, no. This is going to be something cool. You're going to find the marriage certificate literally blowing up out of the food product. Okay, here we go. We have all the ingredients. Now, what do we do with that? I need a volunteer from the crowd. That's right. Somebody needs to put their dirty, stinky hand and put it in this stinky glove and put it in this. Yeah, this is the fun part, folks. This is the fun part. So we're going to mix it up. I'm going to use one hand, basically. But we have the crouton, we have the pistachio, the garlic, the onion twice, the salt, the pepper, what else did I not mention here? The lemon, the barbecue sauce, all of that going in. And what we're doing here, the egg really helps because we need to put this and fold this together. Now, you're probably wondering, how is this mushy meat going to actually sit comfortably so we can rotisserie this? Well, I'm going to show you how. If you go to Home Depot or one of those places, even Walmart, I believe, that has a barbecue section, that barbecue section basically will have something called a screen mesh, okay? So that's mixed together pretty well, or well enough, I should say. So what we're going to do, I'm going to have the camera, if you would, kind of come over here. This is kind of like making a loaf of bread or something, okay? We're going to take our meat that we have mixed together, and that is sitting on a mesh of bacon, which is going to be our web net. And that goes right here like so. Okay, so now what we have here is a tubular shape. That's kind of, okay, I'm starting to look and see how that's going to come to be. And from here, what we're going to do is simply tuck and roll. Kind of like a good old, well, yeah, one of those two, but a tuck and roll. I'm going to move this over here so we can get a better vision here and move this out here so you guys can see a better shot of this. Now there's some secrets coming up here. Secrets, we have secrets. By the way, we have less than 5 minutes. If you have not put your name in the spin, we have less than 5 minutes. I hear it's coming. Steve, hurry up. Yes, I'm hurrying. All right. So we have a long show today. Love takes time, ladies and gentlemen. Slow it down. Love takes time. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we are literally going to tie the meatloaf mesh together. Now you see how it's starting to form. Okay, so we take the first one. Kind of like tying a Christmas present here, which I was never very good at, but all right, so the first one's down. That's the hard one, okay? Take the second string. There should be about at least possibly 3 to 4. The string won't burn. Nothing like that burns because you're up far enough from your heat device. But again, we are literally just showing you how you would form, and because you were wondering, how do we make this rotisserie stick? Well, that's pretty simple. Let's do 3 for the sake of time. The spinner is here. If everyone's got their name in, we are going to be giving away 3, maybe 4, maybe more. I like the way that rhymes with love. Love is a 4-letter word, so I think 4 is probably applicable today. And so you want to stick around here for the last portion of that. Okay, so here's what we have. We have, and I'll cut those strings off accordingly, but this is the portion of the rotisserie meatloaf, the portion that's going to stick itself to the rotisserie. Now, the last question is, well, how do you put that on the rotisserie, Steve, and keep it from, okay, very good. You go and you get yourself a wooden dowel, okay? This is the secret. This is very, very important. That wooden dowel needs to go right through the center. And we're going to start the process with the meatloaf with the dowel, and right there as that goes through there. Okay, so now we have a dowel. What's the dowel for? Well, the dowel is definitely going to put the hole in the piercing for the rotisserie, and we're going to put that on the grill and just have it set for just a couple minutes. As that sets up, it's just going to set, but then we're going to pull this out, and then we will literally put the pin to the rotisserie through there and attach our elements to both sides, and away you go. You have a rotisserie meatloaf. Now, how long does that take, Steve? Well, I put mine on depending on the size, but this is a good size. This is actually a 2-pound roast. I'll call it a roast because that's really what it boils down to coming to be. A 2-pound roast, and that is about an hour and a half to 2 hours at that RPM speed. And when you slice it, again, you see the presentation there. It's absolutely amazing, and it's just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so that is how the meatloaf, the rotisserie meatloaf is made. I hope you got that. The digital download will show you precisely how to do that. Let's have that spinner. It is time to spin for some money. Is everybody ready? Oh my God, look at how many people we have. We have a record. We have a record number. Please, yeah, keep that to yourself at the moment if you would. So we have a lot in here. Okay, this is going to take some time. We're going to do this. Love is a 4-letter word. I believe 4 is a good number, so here we go. We're going to spin, spin, spin. Congratulations to all of those who have been married for any length of time. That is awesome. But 25 years or more, this show is going to commemorate that. We're going to pull out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I didn't say I was going to call on 8. I'm just going to pull out 8. Everyone's getting excited. Oh, what did he do? No, don't. All right, so I have in my left hand here, I have a bunch of tags. That's how we're going to do it today. The very first one for $200 for tuning into the Steve Henry Show live at 4 o'clock Mountain Time today is going to produce a winner, and that winner is going to be Patsy Raylene A. Patsy Raylene A. I have no idea who you are, sweetheart, but congratulations. You have won the first $200 spin. That is very cool. If you are new, and I believe you are new, that is awesome. Number two, here we go. 2 minutes and 2 seconds. We have, I am so glad I told you in my text to you today, you were going to win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lisa Rogers from Michigan. Yay! All right. Yeah. Oh, heck, she's a first-timer, too. All right, number three. Somebody go get my bank card because I'm going to need it. I'm going to have to go to the bank here. I can tell you that. Oh, God, another one I love so much. Chronically Kelly, you are the third winner. Yeah, baby, 3 winners for you. And number 4, I got 5 in my hand. I can't do 5. I'm putting 1 back. All right, number 4. Love is a 4-letter word. We're spinning 4 times. Here we go. Number 4. Who is the 4th winner? The 4th winner. The 4th winner. Super Dud. Do we have a Super Dud? And I believe there's a number that follows that, 6470. Super Dud 6470. I believe these are all brand new winners. And I'm so glad. Congratulations, loved ones, because this is your show. As this show, as I've told you this week after week after week, as this show proliferates through and grows, it's just going to grow in numbers and volume, and that also means dollars. Nothing stays in the house after expenses. It all goes back to you. It's the first of its kind YouTube channel. This is your show, your channel, and you're going to benefit from it. I love every one of you. I can't tell you how grateful I am for those numbers. I'm looking at the board, a record number this week. Next week, marriage 1 through 5. It's going to be I'm looking forward to next week. A delicious meal. Filet mignon, crab legs, sauce béarnaise. Ooh, some good stuff. I love you. Have a great week. Don't be late for next week's show. We'll be there. Love you. See you next week. Voila.